Welcome to Pat Writes Books. The video you're about to watch is intended for mature audiences. It will likely contain an abundance of cursing, adult discussions, and worst of all, personal opinions. So chill out, grab a snack, and enjoy the show. Take it away, Sensei.
How's it going, everyone? My name is Patrick Pena. I am your friendly internet wordsmith, and today we're going to get a little personal, or rather, I'm going to get a little personal and hope you guys don't beat me up for it. Have you ever spent the weekend, just binging content as we usually do nowadays, and you spent the weekend watching movies, TV, reading a book? It doesn't really matter what it is. But you get to work on Monday, and that one nosy ass coworker who's always in everybody's shit is like, "Hey Pat, what'd you do this weekend?" Now, of course, you spent the last 48 hours rewatching the complete works of My Little Pony. But rather than confess that brony pride, you say something like you spent the weekend cleaning the garage or something, knowing damn well your garage looks like a hoarder's wettest dream. Chances are you, my friend, were enjoying a guilty pleasure. And that today is what I want to go over. The topic of guilty pleasures, I'm going to go over one of my guilty pleasures. We're going to get personal here. So first off, if my elaborate and thorough example wasn't enough of an explanation for you, a guilty pleasure is pretty much any form of entertainment or activity that you're not exactly forthcoming with the information that you enjoy said entertainment and activity. Guilty pleasures really come in all shapes and sizes, varieties. They're a dime a dozen. And what could be like perfectly normal for somebody else, you enjoy in secret and whatnot. It's really to each their own kind of thing here. But in essence, what makes a guilty pleasure is the perception of what others think about you partaking in said entertainment. Sadly, we live in a society where people's perceptions and opinions really hold a lot of weight and power, probably a lot more than they should. What really bothers me about this situation is we're talking about things that typically bring pleasure and joy into our lives, and to have that feeling of having to hide that, it sucks a lot. Frankly, if what you're doing and enjoying, as long as you like it and it's not bothering or hurting anyone else, we really shouldn't give a fuck about what other people think, to be quite frank. Of course, this is a lot easier said than done. Thankfully, we live also in a society and a time where you can find hobbyists and enthusiasts of whatever you're interested in pretty much anywhere over the vastness of the internet. And that is very nice and very comforting. But it also sucks really hard when that thing you like and enjoy and are passionate about, when someone else that is close to you casts that judgment on you. Like, it sucks really hard if, like, every time you go to the family cookout or whatever, Uncle Jimmy's over there talking shit about you being a grown ass man, still playing with the Pokemon and all that, So in an effort to normalize this stuff, I wanted to get a little bit vulnerable with you guys. I'm going to share my guilty pleasure. And hopefully that in doing so, I hope that the more we can openly talk about this stuff, the more that, the power dynamic can shift and other people's perceptions and opinions can, shift more towards in the favor where we won't have to feel like we can't share things that we enjoy in. And maybe, just maybe, Uncle Jimmy can shut the fuck up. No guarantees, but we gotta start somewhere, right? So what is it? What is Pat's guilty pleasure? What is it that I enjoy quite a lot, but have never really openly talked about it? Well, it is harem, anime, manga, etc. And if you don't know what that is, just chill out for a second. I'm gonna go over all of it. So, if you don't know, a harem is when one person has multiple romantic partners. These are usually a one guy, multiple girl scenarios, but there are reverse harems, which are pretty much exactly what they sound like. One chick, multiple dicks. No brainer. Harem, anime, and manga, etc., are just that. These stories follow a protagonist. And throughout the course of the series, they attract a swarm of people all vying after those naughty bits. Yeah, for the purposes of this video, I am going to be focusing just on a regular harem of one guy, multiple girls, for A, because those are what I watch, and B, because I don't really feel like the reverse harems ever catch the same amount of slack as the regular harems do. So, for the purposes of this video, that's what I'm going to be referring to. Now, there may be a few of you watching this video who may think they have pinpointed exactly why this is a guilty pleasure for me. A lot of times these shows, stories, whatever, are perpetuated as being misogynistic. They perpetuate a male-dominated world and a patriarchal society, and they're for weebs who have never seen a vagina since they fell out one. Well, if you thought that, I would like to be the first to inform you that you are dead ass wrong. Pat don't give two fucks in a Kit Kat bar about none of that bullshit. Now, we could be here all day, and I can explain why all those points are complete bullshit. But frankly, I don't have the time. I don't want to bore you with such a discussion, and this is really not what I made the video for. So we're just gonna skate on past that. My problem with harem stories are that they are more basic than a venti vanilla latte hold the whipped cream with the extra pump of that syrupy shit. Like, seriously, these harem stories all pretty much go like this. There's some dopey but lovable guy, usually down on his luck, despite being seen as a loser by like everyone around him. He somehow attracts the attention of a super hot woman. But wait, something's not quite right here. Apart from the certified snack being attracted to gas station sushi here. This woman, this super hot woman, she is some kind of alien or a mythological creature. Shit, sometimes she's even a straight up goddess. And let's just forget about how she looks like a normal Earth female. Just gloss over that. Forget it. Throw it out. But wait, another plot twist. There are even more of these gods, aliens, whatever the premise of the show is. There's even more of these women who are attracted to this loser who's usually probably fucking something up. All because this guy has a heart with more gold in it than Fort Knox. Oh, and more often than not, this guy is usually a virgin, and I mean like major virgin, like early 20s, never even kissed a girl virgin. Not that that's a bad thing, if you fall in that category. Dope. Good for you. Just saying that this is a common thread here. Yeah, that's like 90% of harem stories, and even despite that, with all the commonality and the tropes and all that stuff, I really fucking love these stories. Like, they're dope. They are the dopest. You can't convince me otherwise, and I'm gonna tell you why. Harem stories for me are like Hallmark movies for my wife. She's a big fan of Hallmark. Yeah, the stories they're predictable, but I mean they're a good time. They make me laugh. They're full of the best vibes. I mean, no one's trying to spark philosophical debates with these stories. They're not trying to question the meaning of life. I mean, they're just here to entertain, make you feel the good vibes, all the good warm feels, and show off some anime titties every now and again. I mean, if you can find enjoyment in that, then that. So this is the part of the video where I gush over my favorite harem anime, manga story, whatever. So I guess get ready. I don't know. So my favorite harem anime / manga is Sekirei, written by, and you know what? I'm just gonna look at the script, and I'm going to butcher this. I'm probably just gonna look at the script while I read these names, because if you can't tell, I'm Latin African American, so Japanese really not my forte. So forgive me. But this story was written by Sakurako Gokuraquin. This series follows Minato Sahashi. He's a guy down on his luck. He just failed his school entrance exam. He's walking on the street all sad and shit, doesn't know what he's gonna do, when a beautiful woman named Musubi literally falls out of the sky on top of him. But before he can figure out what's going on or anything, they are approached by these two dangerous but sexy looking women, and they are looking to lay an ass whipping down on Musubi. So Minato is basically like, yeah, fuck the situation, because he's not like very confrontational. So he grabs Musubi by the hand, tries to escape with her. Of course they can't. They get cornered. But here's a twist though. These women who are attacking Musubi, they're all genetically enhanced humans known as Sekirei. And it turns out that Minato is Musubi's Ashikabi, which is basically in this world like your soulmate. But like, if your soulmate could unlock like superpowers. Minato and Musubi kiss, which unlocks all type of hidden powers within Musubi. Shit's just beautiful. The attackers bounce because they were trying to eliminate Musubi from the game before she got her wings, aka met her Ashikabi, aka got that kind of whoop ass to open up. And yeah, this game is called the Sekirei Plan. It's basically like a massive death tournament in which one Ashikabi and his Sekirei will be allowed to live. And the city goes into lockdown because the people running the government are actually running this game and whatever. So yeah, Minato's life basically goes from dull and I'm trying to get into school to what the fuck is going on. So what I like about this story is its premise. It's basically the star-crossed lovers romance trope on like fucking steroids. And if you don't know what that trope is, it's basically two people meet, they fall in love, and one or more outside forces, whether they be like people, fate, whatever, are trying to drive these two people apart. And I know I said earlier that a lot of these harem stories aren't like life and death and super serious, but this is like one amazing exception. I will say though that there is a bit of fan service in the series. A lot of harem anime do feature fan service. Many of the fight scenes will end with the Sekirei's clothes just being like ripped to shreds, except for the panties. So yeah, another show where there be anime titties galore. But again, these are a gift, and you should enjoy them. Otherwise, you're just being rude. Another harem I'd recommend is Rosario plus Vampire. It is written by Akihisa Akita. Again, sorry for butchering that. Japanese is not my native language. Now, this one follows Skune Aono. He's a high school kid who mistakenly enrolls in a high school for monsters, which monsters eat humans. So I'm sure you can see the problem there. He ends up befriending a vampire named Mocha who gets a keen taste for his blood. Apparently, he has that spicy blood. I don't know. He's all negative. I don't know. Mocha herself is a really interesting character because she basically has two personalities, which are controlled by a crucifix around her neck. So her father is like the vampire king in this world, and she's like wickedly strong. So strong, in fact, that she needs to wear this necklace that seals like all her vampire power away. And no one can remove this crucifix except for basic bitch ass Skune. Like they're in a school full of werewolves, trolls, orcs, monsters of all kinds with like insanely beefy strength. But little funky ass Skune can pull this crucifix. He's the only one that can pull the cross off. What's cool about Rosario plus Vampire is that it's like super lighthearted with a cast of colorful and quirky characters. There are fight scenes here and there, but they're usually nonsensical. They usually go like someone's being a nuisance. The main cast of protagonists try to deal with it. Things don't go the way they're supposed to. Skune removes Mocha's necklace. The beast comes out. She kicks the culprit in the face in a very Team Rocket's blasting off again fashion. And rinse, repeat. We'll see you again next week for the next episode. That's going to do it for this one, guys. In an effort to keep the positive train going, please feel free to hop down below and leave a comment letting me know what your guilty pleasure is. I'd love to know and get a discussion going. Also, if you have any recommendations for harem stories, I'd love to get those too. If you couldn't tell, I'm particularly fond of anime and manga, but I do enjoy other forms of media as well.
Thanks for kicking it with us. If you had a good time, go ahead and slap that like button. And if you're new, consider subscribing, because we do this every week. Of course, you're going to want to hit that bell too so you never miss an upload. Have an awesome day, achieve something great, and we'll catch you later.